Hey everybody, this is Barry. This week I wanted to do a blog video about some stuff that happened. Um, I deliver newspapers late at night, early into the morning, um, and some of the areas I go through aren't so safe, and I recently found out they can be very unsafe, as I found out this morning recently. But several weeks ago, I heard about 1:40 a.m. in the morning what could only be described as fully automatic gunfire. And this was, it sounded like a rifle, and the shots were so fast that you couldn't determine how many shots because there were no in between, shots. It was just that fast. I assume it was maybe a couple dozen shots. I have been told by the police this area, sometimes weekly you get reports of shots fired or someone, a shooting. I've heard quite a few shots myself. I won't tell you where this area was. Something really scared me this morning. That's why I'm running a little late this morning. But I have this street in this area that, is a cul-de-sac. You go down to a dead end and come back. But I have a person I have to deliver paper to at the very end of this street. And sometimes during the week, but most of the time it's around the weekend, there are a couple of houses before you get to the end where around the weekend there can be quite a few cars parked in there, on both sides of the street. You kind of have to be real gentle and go slow, because it's hard to get through there, even with this very small 96 GL Metro. There's usually 6 or 8 people standing out there. I've had, actually in the past I've had some of these people stop me and, these sound like angry people. They've thrown eggs at my car before, and they've banged on my car as I drove by. But this morning, eggs wash off. It doesn't ruin your paint if you can wash it off fairly quickly. And I've hit so many deer with this car, about 6 or 7 now, that a little pounding isn't going to stress me out. Eggs aren't going to stress me out. But what happened this morning was I go through there, and there's, 6 or 8 people out there. They look like they're probably in their teens to in their 20s. They've all got brand new cars. I gently go through there because I don't want to upset anybody or offend anybody. And they're standing out there around their cars, and I don't want to bump into anybody. That could make a problem, serious problem. And so I get down there, I deliver the paper, and then as I'm backing to turn out and go back through this, somebody rushes up there with a vehicle and blocks the street. See, this is a cul-de-sac, so there's no escape. And I pull up there, and they don't act like they care if this is a public street and anybody needs to get through or anything. So then I patiently wait there, and I start thinking, man, I don't know what's going on here, but I'd sure like to get around. And I noticed that the driveways on either side of the street there are full of cars. You couldn't go up in their yard to go around to escape. I was completely trapped. So I'm patiently waiting there. I say nothing. I kind of don't like being around people. Little social anxiety problems there. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but that's reality. And so one of my deals is when I'm around too many people, I can almost stop breathing. So they start loading some motorcycle in the back of this truck. I think, well, I can't do anything. I just sit here and be patient and not say a thing, because anything I said, of course, would trigger or upset or set off. These people, well, they said some things that weren't very nice. But they finally get this thing loaded. It seemed like it must have been at least 5 minutes. 3, 4, 5 minutes, something like that. And then I think I'm gonna get out of there, maybe unscathed, without a scratch. I'm creeping up there, probably less than a mile an hour. This is a standard shift car. I'm in first gear, just letting it idle through there, basically, because this is a stick of dynamite here. So as I'm approaching, and keep in mind there's cars on both sides of the street, and really a full-size vehicle would not be able to go through here. There's people standing there, and I'm trying to be as courteous and cautious as I'm going through there. And they're hurling insults. Let's just say they're saying things. You can tell by their tone that they are angry about something. I don't know why. They have no need to be angry at me. I don't know. As I go by, they start pummeling my car with eggs, and this occurred about 2:30 a.m. I didn't even get home till sometime after 7:30. Before, when this happened, I was able to stop at a mud hole and try to wipe some of this egg off, but this was so many eggs this time, I didn't have that option. So by the time I got home, some of my paint was actually messing up, and I tried to scrub it off. The car stinks like rotten egg. It's a very horrible smell. Even though I washed it off, it didn't come off. And some of the paint actually bubbled. I guess somehow eggs will ruin your paint. But this car looked bad enough already to begin with. I think, well, let's say this. I called the police. I debated on calling the police. I don't want to incite these people further. Next time around, they may block me in and drag me out of my car and beat me to death in the streets. With all the crazy stuff going on lately, I forgot the date. This is Sunday, June 7th. So, but I did finally decide to call the police in case next time they don't need much of a reason to do something like that to me, to drag me out of my car and murder me. Just keep in mind the kind of stuff that's been going on lately. I will say, racism is stupid, and here's why. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. I don't want to. I'm the type, I'd like to lay low and never see anybody, because I don't really like being around people. Boy, this is really a negative video. But here's why racism is so stupid. They say that America is a melting pot, a land of immigrants. There's probably not really very many full-blooded anything people. I am, my ancestry is, I have a Native American ancestry, and I'll say among others, basically a mutt. Most people have got something else in them. A lot of black people probably have European DNA, and a lot of white people have African DNA. I know some of you are thinking this is really stupid, but it is true that America is a melting pot. I believe that probably a lot of people have a little of each other in them. So, if I run into this situation again, I should say, wait a minute, hold it. Let me pull out my copy of my DNA test, and we can go over it together, and we can, you know, determine which part of my DNA you've got a problem with, and maybe, you know, oh, here, you have a problem with this one, that I'm 30% that. Maybe the person could temper their racism to only give me 30% of their rage that they would have given me otherwise. See how stupid that is? Racism is stupid. I happen to think that there is a force out there, a group of entities that want people at each other's throat, and they would like to see this world burn. There's not much love out there. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. This is a horrible video, I guess. But with the things that are going on lately and what I experienced this morning, I'm not going through there this morning. I mean, I could die. When you look at what they've been saying in the news going on here in America, I'm sorry. All I can do is apologize. This is crazy. But I just wanted to share my weekly blog. I don't know if I'll do any more of these, because they tend to be on the negative side. I don't know. I guess I just have a lot of stuff happen to me. I guess that's when the crazy stuff happens out there. You know, late at night and early into the morning. But, okay, well, on a positive note, we should try to love each other. We should try to do something nice for other people, for a total stranger, and then maybe this will be a better world. Yeah, I hear you. But my next video is going to be a great video about a classic muscle car. Okay, well, be looking for that, and I appreciate you listening to my rant. I'm kind of you know, straddling the fence on sleep-deprived stupor, and I had a lot of stress this morning, and I hope nothing like that happens again like it did this morning. Okay, thank you for watching.